Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bimbo Mentality, a podcast about fast cars and cheap thrills. And also, it's a podcast where a cool person sits down with us to teach us about neat things. My name is Bug, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Emma. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. I got my wine. It's a great little night for me.
Yay, we love that. Over in the booth, pouring out half the bottle of vodka and replacing it with water, is our producer, Lilith. How are you, Lilith?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I actually, if I could be honest, I'm drinking out of a water bottle that I got from my gym because I got all the way to the gym and realized I left my water bottle at home, and driving 15 minutes home felt like not worth the $10 that it would cost to buy a water bottle from my gym. So now I have, I think, my sixth water bottle that I own. It's fine. It's all fine. I'm excited to learn about cars.
Oh yeah, that brings us around to our guest this week. Our guest this week is Amber DaSilva. Amber has been an automotives journalist for Jalopnik for 4 years, a role that includes reporting on news from the auto industry, as well as doing fun things like riding along with Formula One drivers and racing motorcycles in the rain. How are you doing, Amber? Welcome to the podcast.
I am doing my best. I am getting over the COVID vax. So everyone else has their fun wine or vodka and everything. I'm downing a Pedialyte as we go here.
Listen, we're getting crunk off Pedialyte tonight.
We're making it work.
How are you feeling, Amber? Do you feel like you are ready to think like a bimbo and teach us about cars?
I don't know any other way to think.
Hell yeah. Let me prep you a little bit on the job that you are walking into today. I want to tell you a little bit about my knowledge of cars. As I've mentioned on the podcast before, I work in the veterinary industry, and back in 2020, 2021, we were doing entirely curbside appointments. So the way that would work is, the clients would just stop at the parking lot. We, as the nurses, would go out to meet them at their car, consult about sort of what's going on with their pet. We would take the pet inside to be examined by the doctor. The doctor would call the patient or call the client to discuss, and then we'd return the pet to the car. It's a total pain in the ass. And when we were entirely curbside, we had spot numbers up on the parking spots, but once we started allowing clients back in, we got rid of those. And from there on out, any client who opted for a curbside option had to just tell us the make and model of their car, and we would go out based on that. And the first time that happened, I was told to go get a pet from a blue Hyundai. And I stepped outside for a minute and then had to sheepishly return and ask for help when I realized that I didn't know how to identify a Hyundai. I don't I don't know what makes that difference.
When Uber tells you what sort of car your driver is arriving in, is that just sort of right over your head?
Yeah, I have to look for the license plate.
I'm always the person that has to identify the Uber for people. When the car is coming up, I'll be like, no, okay, I recognize those headlights. That's the car.
I know what the color is. I know what a blue car looks like.
Hey, that's half the battle right there. Blue
Exactly.
Hyundai, blue is half of it.
Emma, how about you? Do you know anything at all about the world of cars?
I am sneaky on cars. I feel like I know some things, but then if once you open the hood, I could not tell you a single thing.
Oh,
I know
yeah, that's
some things about engine facts and different cars and makes and models and that stuff. But then if I talk to an actual car girly, very quickly it is apparent that I am out of my depth. I do not know how to change my own oil or a tire, so just gonna say that right now.
You're not hanging out at the garage where they're tinkering and going, looks like a dead carburetor
Nope.
or whatever.
Nope, I'm the girl who literally drives through the drive-through Jiffy Lube and asks them to fill my tires with air because I don't know how to do that either at the gas station.
Jiffy Lube is such a dirty sounding name for a company, by the way. I just want to
It
say
really?
that.
Quick lube
If any... Hey baby, can I lube your Jiffy?
for when you need lubricant in a Jif. Yeah, it's pretty gross.
There is so much about cars that can end up sounding so dirty. Like, has anyone ever told y'all how, like, the 4 steps of how an engine works?
Oh,
No.
I think I know where this is going, and I'm very excited.
I know absolutely nothing about this. We're getting right into it today, by the way. I didn't even need to ask you an intro question. Let's talk about this.
Engines work by repeating the same 4 steps over and over and over. And now, if you are listening and you are a car nerd, you will know there are exceptions to this, but this is most things you'll see out there on the roads. The steps are suck, squeeze, bang, and blow.
This can't be real.
I know a lot about all of that.
Same, bestie, same.
Those are the 4 strokes of a normal 4-stroke engine. Intake,
Yeah, I bet they
compression,
stroke.
ignition, exhaust.
Wow.
Yeah, I bet they stroke.
Yeah, if it only takes you 4 strokes, that's you might want to get some practice in.
All
Listen,
right.
if it's taking
Well,
anyone on estrogen only 4 strokes, I want to know what's going on there.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
that's a whole other podcast, to be honest. We gotta get a whole other guest in for that one.
Some sort of medical professional, probably.
Yeah.
I know a creatine tea enthusiast actually for that. So
That's an idea.
Does creatine make you come fast?
I don't know. I just know it does muscle stuff. Okay, it's like it makes you stronger or something, right? Or
Well, it strengthens your wrist muscles and your finger muscles, so it tightens up that grip.
Fuck.
Well, this is truly the
We're off the-
fastest that we've ever gotten completely off topic. Amber, tell us a little bit about your history with cars. What interested you in this field? What brought you in the direction of being an automotives journalist?
I was going to say, I don't know that you can say it's the fastest you've gotten off topic, because I don't know that we were ever on. But my background, my dad was always very into cars when I was growing up. Even my mom, she's not a huge car enthusiast, but she can change her own brakes and tires. She knows how to drive stick and everything. So I grew up in a family that was both, very DIY. Oh, the car needs something fixed. We'll just fix it. And, I would go out to Lime Rock Park every summer for, I think it was Memorial Day weekend. They do the vintage racing, and we'd go and we'd camp out at the racetrack. I had not camped outside of a racetrack until very recently. Turns out that's a thing you can do. You can own a tent and just go to the woods. It doesn't have to be a racetrack.
Just wait, sorry, pause. Just like in general, we're just like describing the concept of camping.
Yeah, just describing.
You lost me there for a minute.
I had not camped outside of a racetrack until this past June, when I strapped a bunch of camping gear from REI to my motorcycle and rode up to Vermont with a friend of mine.
Based. Well, that sounds cool. I don't know a lot about cars, but I have camped at a racetrack before, because that's just a thing you do when your family's roots are in central Pennsylvania.
Honestly, not a thing I would have expected.
It's it's more country out there than you'd expect. But in any case,
Yeah, and as I got older, I got really more interested in the mechanics of it, how an engine really works, how suspension tuning, really functions. I'm one of those people who will get way, way too into the car mods in Forza. I'm dialing in tenths of a degree of suspension. It is a wonder it took me so long to get any suggestion that there is any sort of autism going on here. But just the mechanics of it all are so interesting to me, how those little tweaks can mean so much. Yeah, in 2021, I started working at Jalopnik after having one of those fun little pandemic layoffs from my tech marketing job. moved to New York, where car ownership is famously super easy and convenient, and immediately stopped owning a car and have only owned motorcycles since.
That was going to be the next thing I brought up. You famously are much more of a motorcycle girly than you are a car girly specifically. Was that always true, or was that a fascination brought on sort of just by the change in your living situation?
The motorcycle girly in me was sort of fostered very early by me owning a little bright red Kawasaki Ninja toy when I was a child. Kawasaki Ninja's usually green. I don't know why this one was red.
We're learning a lot about colors together today.
Kawasaki's are green, Yamaha's are blue, Suzuki's are blue, occasionally yellow. Hondas are red, KTM's are orange. Motorcycles are very color-coded for your convenience.
Almost the whole Roy G. Biv there. I like it.
Yeah.
Right?
I actually got my motorcycle license when I was still living upstate right after college because it was something I'd always wanted. And now I was living on my own and no one could stop me. So like my parents heard about my motorcycle license when I got my first bike, and they heard about my first bike when I got my second one. That was the lag. I kept them on for a minute there. But like my dad had a motorcycle back in high school. So he had no leg to stand on. And my mom got over it eventually. But yeah, I wasn't riding really regularly until more recently, until I moved to New York, largely just because I bought some truly garbage bikes at first. But once I moved down here, I got things that I could actually ride reliably rather than spending all my time fixing in the parking lot of the coffee shop I lived above. And yeah, since I've been here, I have 2 motorcycles parked outside right now for me to use. It's been fun. I am a big proponent of like using the smallest vehicle possible to move you around. I say that as one of the bikes I have parked outside is over 700 pounds, but I'll go bicycling too. Bicycles, motorcycles, we love compact transportation that is efficient on space. And they get great fuel economy. And they're real fun. And they look hot.
They do look hot.
Listen, I do my best to make them look hot.
I don't know anything about cars and motorcycles, but I know a whole lot about being attracted to women. And let me tell you, motorcycles, A tier. I have seen in some of your videos of Jalopnik, you talk about just like the experience of being outside while in a vehicle, which I get the feel of that, but also, I assume it must suck to like ride in the rain sometimes.
I have ridden in rain. I have ridden on snowy roads. I have fully ridden in hail at this point. It's fine. I don't mind like being out in the rain. An ex of mine called this manic pixie dream girl behavior, where I will just like fully go out in the rain, no raincoat, no umbrella, and be having a fantastic time. I grew up on the movie Twister, which came out the same year I did. And there you go, Emma. I knew that'd get you. Yeah, we love severe weather over here. Also, Bug, if any of my helmets fit you, I will take you out on the back of a motorcycle. I am happy to do that.
That would be fun. I have never ridden on a motorcycle before, so that would be a lot of fun. A recurring joke, both in my real life and increasingly on this podcast, is that I've never seen any movies. I do want to make note, though, that Twister is a movie that I've seen like 5 times because it's my best friend's favorite movie. So
okay, but you need to watch. So I was gonna say I was waiting for when Amber was gonna veer into severe weather because we bond over the Twister franchise, and you really need to see Twisters, Bug, because there is a line in it by one of the main characters that we get endless joy out of, which is that if you feel it, chase it. And
oh, that's pretty good.
It's become a running joke. So just saying.
That is a back and forth between me and my girlfriend also at this point. We'll do it like a call and response with it, because that was one of our earliest dates, was going to see Twisters in 4DX. Worst seats in the house, front left corner of the theater, looking way up at everyone. And like the seats are shaking, the water's spraying at you. Fantastic. The first time I saw Twisters, first time I saw it was opening day in like I think it was an AMC. Is it AMC or is it Regal that does 4DX? Whichever one does 4DX, like right outside of Times Square. I was with my coworkers. So like the entire New York staff of Jalopnik at the time, we just took up a little section of the 4DX theater. And I, very funnily for someone who's like a car person, a motorcycle person, I get motion sick if I'm not operating the vehicle that I'm in. I sit down and they do the little demo where it's like, ooh, you're doing a roller coaster. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to have to get out of this theater. And then the little demo ends and the movie starts. And suddenly all that shaking and everything is from a tornado. And it was hot. And then the movie ends, the credits start rolling, the lights start to come up. And I turn to all my coworkers seated next to me, people with whom I have a professional relationship. And I just go, I think I need to fuck a tornado.
And have you done so?
We don't get a lot of them in Brooklyn. But listen,
Probably
if
for
someone
the
wants
best.
to take me storm chasing,
Amateur storm chaser here, I would be happy to do that.
let's go. I have this dream of going storm chasing on a motorcycle. I think that would be...
I don't know about that.
I think it'd be so good. I'm not looking to do like an intercept, right? Like I'm not dropping Dorothy in the path of an F5 or something. Sorry, an EF5. The movie was a while ago. But I would love to ride around with a bunch of photography gear. Because I feel like when you see photos of tornadoes, they are either from really far away or they are stills from a GoPro. I want to bring really nice photography gear closer than other people are willing to go. And I think the maneuverability and lightweight of a motorcycle that can go on-road, off-road, whatever, would actually be helpful for that.
Except when you're getting hailed on by baseballs.
I've ridden in hail. That's why you get all the protective armor. So the thing would be, when I am on a motorcycle, I am always in full gear. I'm wearing a helmet. I'm wearing an armored jacket, armored gloves, armored pants, armored boots. However, I am normally wearing soft armor. The word that they will use in the industry is viscoelastic, which I know I said before we were recording that thinking, no, I said it while we were recording, that thinking like a bimbo is the only way I know how to think. And then I bust out the word viscoelastic. Do you remember making oobleck in science class?
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Oobleck is a non-Newtonian fluid. When force is applied to it, it becomes a solid. And that is how viscoelastic motorcycle armor works. It is soft, it is pliable, it is flexible, it is comfortable to wear until you hit it, and then it is hard, which has always sort of fascinated me as the concept of like an impact toy, but it's meant to disperse the impact and, disperse that force.
I was about to say, I know some girls like that.
God damn it, beat me to it.
But obviously that wouldn't work for hail. It wouldn't work for wind debris. But if you could do hard plastic dirt bike armor on you, right? There's a company now that actually makes a hard armored airbag system. So when you fall off the bike, it has an airbag to go up around your neck and lock onto your helmet to keep your neck in place. It will pad your chest and everything. So I think doing a bunch of armor like that, and then you have like a 360 cam, you have like a GoPro, you have the really nice camera that you all are seeing me through right now. And then I would also want to have a bag on the bike full of medical gear. And I refuse to go storm chasing on a motorcycle before I get trained in first aid. Because if you're going to be following the path of a tornado, and you're going to be on the most maneuverable vehicle in the area, it feels irresponsible to do that without being able to help people at the same time. So I would want to be able to be a first responder, essentially, which is why I haven't done it yet.
What I'm hearing is that once we can get you coated in a layer of oobleck, you're gonna be doing some sick motorcycle stunts in a tornado, and then also helping heal the sick, like a sort of mashup of Evel Knievel and Jesus.
That has sort of long been my brand, is Jesus Knievel. It's exactly what I'm going for.
Sounds right. Emma, what were you gonna say?
I forgot now after Jesus Knievel. So that's sort of
Gisel Knievel.
I don't know how you name your episodes, but I feel like if you name them after a quote, that's a strong contender.
If I was going back to my storm chasing days, I think I would still want a roof over me of some kind. But you know what? You're selling me on the motorcycle idea a lot, actually.
Right? Imagine a vehicle that is lightweight. It's got a lot of suspension. You can, hop over curbs. You can ride down stairs. You can go through fields without, getting stopped up by all the plants. You can sort of go between them. You have so much maneuverability on a vehicle that small and that light. You just cannot get that close to the tornado because you will get real hurt real quick. But so long as you dodge the debris, you can get some real good photos, I bet.
Well, you heard it here first, listener. We have an exciting Bimbo Mentality announcement coming soon, a spin-off podcast about Emma and Amber's adventures storm chasing.
Coming soon, spin-off podcast in which Emma has to record my last words as I ride a motorcycle into a tornado, because I think that's a good idea.
I was born to play that role, actually. I can do that for you, for sure. But can we just call it Chasers? I want to do that.
Yes. Perfect.
That's pretty good.
I'm instantly sold.
Wow, okay. So we've talked a whole lot about tornadoes.
Sorry.
Yeah, you brought me on to talk about cars, and I've mostly just talked about the movie Twister and motorcycles.
This has mostly been a very Twister-centric conversation, but that's okay.
This is what happens when you put me and Emma in a room together.
That's true.
It's true.
I should have known better.
It's true.
So, jumping ship completely, tell us a little bit about what's interesting in the world of cars right now.
Right now, what's interesting in the world of cars is the horrors of the world are, sort of the big one. The United States is trying to cordon itself off as its own weird automotive market. Everywhere else in the world is getting tighter and stricter with emissions controls on gas cars. Gas cars need to burn cleaner and cleaner. More and more cars need to be electric. The US is reversing course on that. It is explicitly encouraging people to make gas cars. It's also explicitly encouraging people to build cars here. It is running completely counter to every other nation on Earth, basically. And I think it's not going to go well for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, the US is also doing a lot of very ill-advised things with its economy, where it sort of cuts off trade with everyone else in the world with no real backup plan. And that is, weirdly enough, having negative consequences for everything. And I assume having negative consequences in the world of cars as well.
Oh, absolutely. Car prices are for sure going up. Cars are getting canceled that would otherwise have come here. And
cancel culture is back, baby.
These cars, they have said some shit on Twitter in like 2014.
They had it coming, frankly.
They had it coming, 100%. You can't make those kind of jokes.
This is a pro cancel culture podcast, to be clear.
I've seen that tattoo that the Kia Sorento has. It says it's not like anything that
Oh my
bad,
God.
and that it didn't know what it was getting, but I think the Kia Sorento
okay.
knew what it was doing.
We run a very topical podcast here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredibly timely and topical today. When does this
Yeah.
episode come out?
In several weeks, where everyone will have forgotten what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah, I think this one's going up November 23rd.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know who that guy was until like 36 hours ago, so
Yeah,
I will
that's
probably
fair.
forget in 36 hours.
I'd like heard his name. I knew he was running for Senate in Maine, and I knew that a lot of Rogan guys liked him.
The thing is that, like, even right now, I'm trying to remember his name, and the only name that my brain will give me for this man is Jared Fogle.
Well, that's
Ooh. That's might be one of the that might be like actually one of the less flattering ideas of what he is. One of the
We're just gonna roll with that. Maine Senate candidate Jared Fogle
Jared Fogle.
has the Nazi tattoo.
Oh my God.
I feel like once a person reaches a certain level of shitty, my brain just like condenses them into like just it's like when you defragment a hard drive to save space, all the shitty white dudes are just condensed into one guy in my brain. It's like, yeah, this main guy is like also Jared Fogle and Harvey Weinstein. They're all one dude up there.
That's fair.
My brain has the capacity to remember 4 bad people.
For all legal purposes, though, different Jared Fogle.
Yeah. In my defense, Maine is very far away from California, so I don't really think about it too often. It's kind of just up there. I know it's got a city named Portland also. That's like the lesser known Portland, even though I think it was the first Portland. But, you know, that's about...
I can tell it. Okay, I'm going to try to tell the story as quickly as possible. When they were naming Portland, Oregon, the 2 founders chose they wanted to name Portland, Oregon after one of their favorite cities. And the 2 founders of Portland, Oregon, their favorite cities were Portland, Maine, and Boston, Massachusetts. And they flipped a coin, which means that we were 1 coin flip away from Boston, Oregon, which would have been fucking
God,
awesome.
awful. Awful.
As a resident
Awful.
of New York, you dodged a fucking bullet. Oh my God.
That is terrible.
Yeah, right?
Boston, Oregon.
My experience with Maine, I've never been to Maine, but I once dated a girl from Maine who kept asking me for weed money and then dumped me over Blue Sky Discourse. So that's what I know about Maine.
I've never been to Maine. I don't think I've ever like set eyes on Maine, but I do know there's some fun motorcycling up through it. And that's about all I know about Maine. Also that Stephen King's books all take place there and that there are like 8 people that live in the state.
Yeah.
I was going to say that all I know is that it's where a lot of like supernatural scary shit happens in Stephen King stories. So
Is he from Maine or does he just like it? Or does he
Or does he
hate
just
it?
hate it?
he has to. Oh, that's a good point. He has to be from Maine. Why would you write about Maine unless you were from there?
Yeah, I feel like people not from Maine don't think that much about Maine.
I apologize for any Maine citizens listening to the Bimbo pod. Like all 2 of you.
Unless you are U.S. Senate candidate Jared Fogle, in which case we don't apologize for shit.
In which case you suck and your subs are terrible.
And here's the thing,
No,
you
different
all
Jared
listening out
Fogle.
there, you just get audio. I saw Emma nearly do a spit take of red wine for that.
Oh my God. Okay, I think having the video on is way better. Actually, this is great. We got to keep doing this.
I'm liking the energy.
Yeah.
I'm learning that I need to have video on, and I need to have a glass of wine in my hand at all times for this.
A good way to do a podcast.
Although I feel like some of this is getting cut. But Lilith, I'll let you make those decisions. In any case, we were talking about cars.
Cars? Motorcycles?
Right, yeah, cars and motorcycles.
Things are bad when it comes to manufacturing cars right now, is kind of the takeaway that I was getting from what you were talking about earlier.
Things are bad, but they're also so divorced right now in the US from anywhere else in the globe that we're reaching a point where it's not that automakers will have to pick and choose. Obviously, a car that meets, European regulations will meet ours. But there are a lot of places beyond emissions where the regulations aren't the same. We have different regulations from Europe on safety and impact. We have different regulations on lighting. Our regulations on car lighting, dog shit. Terrible laws.
Is that why we have... I don't know if this is true in Europe or if this is a US exclusive problem, but those god-awful LED headlights that blind you when you're driving in the opposite direction from them, is that related to that lighting regulation thing?
Honestly, I think those are a problem in Europe, too.
Oh my god, why does everywhere have those? They suck. They suck ass. They're terrible.
Isn't it about when they're behind you, and because isn't it Europe they're allowed to aim them down at the road, we can't, or something? I'm making that up.
So there are different regulations for Europe for like where you can have your headlights. They get all sorts of fancy like dialing shit in over there. But the big issue, at least that I find over here, is when LEDs or halogens or any of those super bright lights have been placed into a car that wasn't built for them. It's like if an Audi drives by, that's usually pretty fine. But if like a 2009 Saturn goes by and that's got LEDs in there, those housings were never meant for that output of light. They were never meant for that pattern of light. So they're just throwing lumens fucking everywhere. And that's where it really gets bad. Also, anyone with a light bar, fuck off. They look sick as hell, but I'm sorry, you can't use them on the street.
It's always a bro dozer. It's always a bro dozer.
Yeah,
bro dozers. Here, what is a light bar?
It is, and this is a really complex one, so I'm glad you asked. It is a bar made of lights.
They put those on cars?
They put them on like big trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, like those fucking Cybertruck things.
Yeah, like that. It'll literally just
suck.
be like a strip of lighting. You'll see them like above the windshield a lot on like, big trucks with big off-road tires and everything like that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Hate those things, by the way.
Not
hate
great.
Big trucks.
Big trucks suck.
Hate big trucks.
Unless you're eastbound and downloading up and trucking, like unless you're an actual like long hauler, fuck you and your jacked up truck.
Also,
especially you, Maine Senate candidate Jared Fogle.
Jared Fogle, fuck off.
Like, Snowman's big rig is not the cool vehicle from Smokey and the Bandit. It's the 77 Trans Am. That's the cool vehicle from Smokey and the Bandit.
A movie I have not seen.
You literally just quoted it.
That's from a fucking song.
A song made for the movie Smokey and the Bandit.
I have not heard it in that context.
Wait, what part? I never seen it either. What part?
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what they say can't be done. We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
Oh,
yeah, they made that
whole lyric.
That is one of the stars of the movie, if I recall correctly, singing that.
Oh, I was thinking of the HBO show with Danny McBride.
Yeah, that show rules.
Okay, well, I definitely recommend Smokey and the Bandit, because that's like That's some real like 70s, just like guys with the shirt unbuttoned to their sternum and like chest hair, and they're talking on CB radios and doing trucker shit.
Is that the one with Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, we love Burt Reynolds. Bug, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis here. Because this was a movie I saw so much as a kid that I eventually bought a Jeep and put a CB radio in it so I could talk to truckers. There are two truckers, the Bandit and the Snowman. Because they're, these are their CB radio handles when they're talking on the...
Wait, so why isn't the movie called Snowman and the Bandit?
You'll see. So Bandit gets this challenge from a couple guys who tell him that they want Coors beer from Texas. They are in Atlanta. At the time, you couldn't buy
so
Coors
fussy?
beer east of the Mississippi or something.
Oh,
there was some line you could, because it didn't have preservatives and they wouldn't travel that far. So they
had to make sure it was as fresh as the Rockies. I get it. I understand.
Exactly.
Okay, continue.
That's a lot of effort to go through for Coors.
Yeah, right? Listen, it was the 70s. They hadn't invented good beer yet. Miller High Life was years away. But the challenge is to get to the Coors plant, get a bunch of Coors, and get back in 24 hours. So Snowman drives the big rig to be filled up with Coors. The Bandit drives a black and gold T-top Trans Am where the sides of the roof come out as solid panels and the roof is just open so that he can run blocker. Because if it looks like Snowman is going to get pulled over, the guy in the big loud sports car can go and drive the cops off by being a more interesting target.
Wait, this is the plot of the movie?
This is the plot of the movie.
What on earth? I never saw... Okay, continue.
When they're approaching where the beer is, the Bandit runs into a runaway bride who is supposed to be married to the son of a sheriff. So the Bandit picks her up, and these two instantly fall in love because Burt Reynolds, come on. And now they are on the run from the police. The police are chasing them because they want the girl back. Not anything to do with the beer, but they can't let the police see the beer because that's super illegal. So it's this whole chase all the way back to Atlanta with Jackie Gleason is the sheriff. It's a very funny movie. It's so good. We love it.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen that movie More Than Twister, the original?
I don't know. It's entirely possible.
Well, do you think that, I mean, from the story you just told, it sounds like that movie was a big inspiration for your journey into being passionate about cars.
Oh, absolutely. I still love that movie. I haven't seen it in a couple years. So if you're listening and it turns out there's some terrible jokes in it, I haven't seen it in a couple years. Give me a break. It's the 70s. But yeah, I always loved the car media. I grew up on Fast and the Furious and everything. I was in the climbing gym the other day and they were playing music from Fast and the Furious. And I was just like, fuck yeah, this is my jam.
Yeah, I have not seen a single Fast and the Furious movie.
Oh my god, we gotta do a marathon.
You have access to my Plex. They're all on my Plex, except the spinoff, because the spinoff is bad. It's not about family.
I have not a single idea how to work a Plex. Never even tried.
I do have access to your Plex, actually, along with all my girlfriends have Plex servers. the most trans thing ever.
Couple follow-up questions on your adventures with cars related to those movies. Have you ever gotten to drive a big jacked up long hauler in your experience as a cars journalist?
I have not. Jalopnik actually got an invite to do an event with, I think it was Volvo trucks recently, but I did not go on that event. My editor did. And it was not only did you get to drive the truck, You got to sleep in the truck. They got sleeper cabs in those big rigs now.
That I did know about. My brother did a brief stint as a trucker, so I knew that they have little houses in there, which I think is pretty neat.
That's wild. Yeah, I wanted to go on that one. It did not work out. I didn't get to go on that one. Next time there is a trucking event, though, I want to do it.
Hell yeah. And have you ever, as in the Fast and the Furious movies, gotten to drive a car out of the window of like a high up floor in a skyscraper into another building?
I promise the early movies were very realistic about their car culture. I swear. Like 1 through 3 were very realistic.
Well,
Wait, hold on.
I mean, listen,
3? 3
What,
was
Tokyo Drift?
Okay. Listen, this is listen, Bimbos, as a Lambda award-winning writer of stupid bullshit about the Fast and Furious movies, this is kind of my whole jam. Was okay, in 3, when they had the storage thing that they got what's his name? The kid was named Twink in the movie. His car out of the thing that like rotated vertically to get his like Hulk hands car out of. Is that real? Do they really fucking have that kind of shit?
You know, Japan definitely has some wild fucking like vending machine style parking garages that are fully robotic. I don't know if they specifically have ones that rotate like that, but I would not be surprised.
Fascinating.
They have those in LA now. They have
That's
parking garages
crazy.
where you go. I went to one where I didn't park, but like you go in there and it takes your car and then slots it into a parking garage. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen
So yeah, that part's realistic. What else you got?
I don't like 3 as much as as the first 2, and so I think I just immediately flinched at that. I think we may have argued about this on Blue Sky. I'm frequently somebody who will get into it about the Fast and Furious movies.
Can we
Ranking
agree
Too
that
Fast, Too Furious above Tokyo Drift is wild.
Okay,
it has more camp. It has more camp.
and it has Brian, who we need to cherish while he's still around.
We don't need to cherish the actor, though.
We don't need to cherish the
That's-
actor. No,
No.
but Brian
Brian-
O'Connor
We do love Brian.
has atoned for his crimes of being a cop by being a cool robber.
Brian O'Connor also has age-appropriate love interests.
He does. And that's great. We love that.
Also 2 has that iconic, like, as from a car perspective, that opening race with the S2000,
Oh my god.
the Skyline, the RX-7. Like, that is
It's
one of my
so
favorite
good.
scenes.
The
It's so-
who's it? Orange Julius is in the Supra. Suki in the S2000. Brian's got his Skyline GTR, which is still like a dream car of mine.
Uh-huh.
Not
Yes,
all like done up with the body kit and everything, but just like a clean Bayside blue R34 GTR. Love it.
I love the underglow. I wanted underglow so bad when I was a kid.
It's coming back. Underglow is a thing again. It's cool again.
Underglow would be cool.
Excellent.
It's so cool. Oh, the pink S2000 though. That was my dream car.
Oh yeah.
There definitely was a part of Tokyo Drift that fully was not accurate, but admittedly, it was not a car thing. It was an IT thing. They were like live streaming the race at the end from fucking flip phones. And that's not a thing. That can't happen. They were watching.
So flip phones in Japan are very different from what we have over here.
I
Japan
know, but it was like
still uses a lot of
2003.
flip phones because they have
Okay,
flip smartphones over there.
But what was their like bandwidth of cell network back then?
Yeah.
The fact that they're on a remote mountain too is probably not fucking helping.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can we agree real quick though? This is the important question of the pod. Can we agree that Fast 5 is the pinnacle of the series?
Oh, God.
I'm gonna say
okay. 7.
I split them up. 7?
Seven hits me in the heart. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Give me
Cried while
this.
watching 7 so many times.
7 hit me in the heart once. The first time I saw it, 7 hit me in the heart. Listen, I watched 7 in college and then went home to my college apartment that had a tuna no crust poster in it. I get it. 7 hit me hard there. And then I saw it again and watched it as a movie and not a memorial for Paul Walker. I was like, damn, this isn't great.
One of us has to
It's
leave the
been
podcast.
a long day.
5 is the best movie of the bunch. It is the best movie. It is not my favorite.
The bank vault chase is my favorite scene in all the movies.
And the most
behind
realistic car scene in the entire series.
It also they had an actual car drive around as the bank vault when they were shooting it.
Yeah.
They had it that's so cool. That is
Practical
so cool.
effects. If you ever look into how they build the cars for these, they're so cool. Like what they actually do to modify all the cars for screen, it's really fun.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure. I know I keep dragging you off track of what you actually brought me onto this podcast for. And Bug, you're doing an admirable job trying to rein me in.
This is actually I think this is, if anything, the platonic ideal of the Bimbo Pod is talking about eight different things.
Yeah, going wildly off topic. I'm having a great time. Anyway.
Me too.
So in the early movies, especially the first 1 and 2, they actually just used local enthusiast cars for a lot of them. The Supra in the first one, the orange one with the Centurion on the side, the hero car of the whole movie, belonged to a guy who consulted for car casting for the movie. He already owned that car. If you ever notice that the roll cage in the car is yellow, unlike the orange exterior, it's because the car was yellow and they just repainted it for the movie. But it was really built up like that. It really had nitrous. It really had the roll cage. All these things were genuine. And he gave a couple cars to the series over the years. But as they went on, they ended up getting built, more and more like typical Hollywood cars, where it's just, okay, we're going to make we're going to make this thing look like what we want. In terms of our drivetrain, we are going to make something dead simple, dead reliable. We're going to put a Chevy V8. We're going to put a simple automatic transmission in it. And we're just going to make it work good enough to let the stunt guys do their job and do it every time they need to.
If you think about it, Fast and the Furious is kind of just grown-ups Hot Wheels.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Do you live your life a quarter mile at a time?
Always, absolutely.
As an automotives professional, do you still make your Hot Wheels go Noom?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I have a Hot Wheel actually on my desk somewhere. Here we go. Not only is it a Hot Wheel, it's a Hot Wheel Skyline.
I am
God.
going to, just for the episode, ask that you give us your best Noom sounds into the microphone for the episode. Thank you.
Meow.
Oh, that was a really good.
That
Noom
was really
sound.
good.
Fuck! How am I gonna? I can't follow that up.
You're a fucking expert. No. She's the expert. That's why I ask.
What the fuck?
I mean, now I gotta hear yours.
No. I think that's
No,
I think
Emma, we got
we
it.
can't-
I need everybody's Noom sounds. I do.
Okay, Bug, you have to go next.
Okay, all right, I will go next. Noom.
That was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I'm doing great. All right, Emma, your turn.
Meow.
Fuck yeah.
I think that
The
was all
thing
around
is that
pretty good Nooms.
That was good until you
Yeah.
fully broke. Again, you're listening to this. You can't see Emma barely on camera, fully head in her hands right now.
Yeah. She's kind of lost it. All right, just for fairness, I will be providing mine.
Ooh, I
that
like
was
that
very
one.
different. That was a goth Noom.
Yeah.
God.
All right.
Oh my god.
I was going to say that one was very Shelby GT350R. There's sort of a rasp to that particular car's engine note that I think you really captured there.
I'm glad you noticed that because I was going for that. Thank you.
I figured that was very intentional, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we've been going for about 55 minutes. I think that's probably about 40 minutes of usable audio from what we've just done. So let's move into our outro questions. Emma, what did you learn today?
I learned I learned what Smokey and the Bandit was finally about. I learned a proper Noom, and You go.
And I will put it on the Plex for you. I'll put it on the Plex.
Yes, please do. Please do.
I learned a whole lot about a lot of movies. I learned what a light bar is. I learned about a lot of colors. I learned that you can do cool Jesus Knievel stunts in a tornado. I don't know that I've learned a whole lot about cars, but I had a very good time.
But you learned about life, though, really.
Yeah, exactly.
We did learn the 4 strokes of an engine.
That's true.
I learned that engines love to jerk off.
Suck, blow. Wait, what was it again? Suck, blow.
Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
Squeeze. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
Compression, ignition, exhaust. Your fuel and air mixture comes into the cylinder. It is compressed. It is ignited, which pushes a piston down in your engine, sending power out through the whole thing. And then the spent fuel air charge is pushed out through the exhaust. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow.
Where does the transmission come into play?
I was going to say the tranny is in the driver's seat generally. The transmission is between the engine and the wheels. The transmission has a set of gears that affect the ratio of engine spinning speed to wheel spinning speed. Because your engine spins very fast in comparison to your wheels. A normal car engine will idle somewhere around 1,200 revolutions per minute and will probably redline around 6,000 revolutions per minute. Double that for motorcycles. So even at 1,200 revolutions per minute, that would be pretty fucking quick for your wheels if you were stopped. So you gear that down with a transmission, and you shift your way up through various gear ratios.
This was a very well thought out and nice answer for my shit post of a question. So I really
that was our most educational segment of the podcast yet. Amber, having heard our descriptions of what we have learned, do you feel like you successfully thought like a bimbo enough to teach us about your passion?
I thought too much like a bimbo and didn't get any educating in.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I don't feel like I've learned a whole lot about cars today. But you know what? That's bimbo mentality, in that sometimes you just have to fuck around.
I think actually I have learned more about being a bimbo from being on here.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that. We love that. As much as we are here to gather knowledge about neat things, we are also here to spread bimbo mentality and to teach everybody that it is okay to be a bimbo. In fact, it's a lot of fun to be a bimbo, and I hope everybody out there heard how much fun this gathering of bimbos just had. Amber, do you have any cool things to plug? Any cool things coming up you want to talk about?
Honestly, none that I can think of off the top of my head. Just come visit Jalopnik and come hang in the comments, and I will see you all over there.
Yeah, what we have not maybe touched on enough here is that if you don't know Amber's work for Jalopnik, she's a very good journalist and also very, very funny. So you should absolutely read Amber's work for Jalopnik. It's great. I think that is gonna wrap us up for today. Our intro-outro music is Runners by Sophia Noor. If you think you have what it takes to think like a bimbo, you can DM us on our Blue Sky page or send it an email my way at prettybug@proton.me. We will catch you next week, listeners.
Bye!
Death of you.